happened during my senior year of high school. Our school was old. Like, really old. The kind of building where the hallways creak when nobody's walking, and the lights flicker just enough to make you feel like something is watching. Most students joked that the place looked haunted. None of us actually believed it. Until the night of the study session. Final exams were coming up, so the school allowed a few students to stay late and study in the library. That night there were only 4 of us in the building. Me, my friend Aaron, and 2 other students. By the time it was around 8:30 p.m. the hallways were almost completely silent. Aaron said he was going to the restroom and walked out of the library. 5 minutes passed. Then 10. Then 15. He never came back. So I went looking for him. The hallway outside the library felt wrong at night. The kind of wrong you feel in your chest before your brain understands why. The lights buzzed softly. But the buzz had a rhythm. Almost like breathing. Every step I took echoed like someone was walking right behind me. I kept stopping and turning around. Nothing was ever there. I turned a corner near the science wing. And froze. There was a hallway I had never seen before. I had been at that school for 4 years. I walked those halls every single day. But this one, I swear it was not there before. The air inside it was different. Heavier. Warmer. Like stepping into a room where something had just burned out. The lights inside flickered in slow, uneven pulses, not like a broken bulb. More like something breathing. At the very end of the hallway it was a classroom door. Painted on it in faded, peeling numbers were the words. Room 13. That didn't make sense. Our school only had 12 classrooms. Everyone knew that. But that was not the weirdest part. As I walked closer, I heard something coming from inside. Whispering. Dozens of voices all murmuring at once. But never finishing a sentence. The sound of pencils scratching on paper. Someone coughing. Wet. Rattling. Wrong. It sounded like a full classroom in the middle of an exam. But the school was supposed to be completely empty. Then the whispering stopped. All at once. Dead silence. Then I heard a teacher's voice. Calm. Cold, as if she had always known I was standing there. All right, class. You may begin your exam. My heart hammered against my ribs. Something in my body was screaming at me to leave. But my feet kept moving forward. I slowly stepped toward the classroom window and pressed my face against the glass. There were at least 30 students sitting at desks. All wearing old black uniforms our school stopped using decades ago. They were writing on yellow exam papers, heads bowed. But something about them felt wrong. Deeply, sickeningly wrong. Like marionettes operated by someone who had never seen a human move. Their wrists bent at angles that wrists shouldn't bend. Their fingers were too long. Then one student stopped writing. Very slowly, he lifted his head and looked directly at me through the window. His face was burned. Completely charred. His skin was cracked like the surface of cooling coal, split open in lines of deep black and dark red. Where his eyes should have been, 2 pale lights glowed faintly. Like embers refusing to die. Then suddenly, every student in the room stopped writing. At the exact same moment. And turned their heads toward me. In perfect unison. 30 burned faces. 30 pairs of glowing ember eyes. All pointed directly at me through the glass. Nobody moved. Nobody blinked. They just watched. Then the teacher slowly turned around from the chalkboard. Her eyes were completely black. Not dark brown. Not shadowed. Black from corner to corner, like 2 holes in her face. She smiled. Far too wide. And said softly, "Well, looks like another student has arrived." She said it like she had been expecting me. Like she had been waiting a long time. The classroom door creaked open on its own. A wave of hot air rolled over me, the thick, suffocating smell of smoke and ash and something else underneath it. Something I didn't want to name. Inside the room, all 30 students rose from their seats in one smooth motion. One of them tilted his burned head to the side. And whispered in a voice like crumpling paper, "You're late for the exam." Then I noticed someone standing in the back row. Someone I recognized immediately. Aaron. But his face was burned like the others. His uniform blackened and still smoking at the edges. His ember eyes stared straight at me, but there was nothing left inside them that I recognized. He slowly raised one hand. And pointed directly at me. His voice came out flat, hollow. Like it was being played from somewhere far away. "Teacher." He's cheating. The students began to move toward the door. All of them, together, in that same terrible slow rhythm. That's when I ran. I don't remember most of the run. I remember the hallway lights bursting out one by one as I passed beneath them. I remember screaming Aaron's name without realizing I was doing it. I remember hitting the front doors so hard my shoulder went numb. The night guard found me outside collapsed against the gate, shaking so hard I couldn't hold my own hands still. The next morning, I told the principal everything. He went completely pale. His hands gripped the edge of his desk. He didn't say anything for a long time. Then he told me something I wish I never heard. Back in 1979, a fire broke out during a final exam in a classroom called Room 13. The door was stuck from the outside. Nobody knows how. 30 students and one teacher were trapped inside. Fire burned for 11 minutes before anyone reached them. None of them survived. After the incident, the school permanently sealed the hallway, tore out the classroom, and poured a concrete wall over where the door used to be. Room 13 was supposed to be gone forever. There was a long pause, then the principal quietly asked me one question. "Did any of them touch you?" I told him no. He let out a long breath. And then, very carefully, he said, "The ones who go inside, don't come back out." He looked at me like I had narrowly missed something he couldn't explain. Nobody ever found Aaron. The police searched the building for 3 days. No sign of him. Not one. But here's the part that still keeps me awake at night. When I got home after the principal's office and opened my backpack, there was something inside I had never put there. An old exam paper, yellow and brittle at the edges, like it had been sitting somewhere for 40 years. At the top it said, "Room 13, Final Examination." My name was already filled in at the top. In handwriting that wasn't mine. Most of the questions were answered, in my handwriting. I hadn't written a single word of it. At the very bottom of the last page, in dark handwriting that smelled faintly of smoke, were 3 words. "See you tomorrow." And beneath that, a second name,